Yo guys, how's it going? It's me, Arctic. Today's video we're going to be going over a complete weapons guide for Kokomi. Now since Kokomi scales pretty much only with HP percent, that is the main weapons we're going to be looking for. There's also a few other weapons that will be good even though they have stats that aren't going to be as good on Kokomi. The main thing that we have to watch out for is Kokomi's fourth passive right here. It's basically decreases your crit rate by 100%, so basically this character can't even crit potentially at all, but they do get this healing bonus which factors into their kit quite nicely, so we're basically going to ignore crit stats completely. But if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Also, I'm trying to get enough YouTube ad revenue to actually whale on Ball's banner quite a bit. But anyway, let's get into the video. So pretty much out of all of these weapons, the only ones that we can choose are ones with, like, let's say energy recharge, ones with Elemental Mastery. Elemental Mastery is probably going to be extremely good on Kokomi, I'd say, if you use her as a sub DPS or like support. And then attack percent is still viable, however it's not necessarily the best used on her. Right off the bat, the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers is literally probably the best free-to-play weapon for Kokomi, I'd say. This comes with HP percent, so you literally can get quite a bit of HP percent off of this. Her base attack doesn't really matter too much anyway, so this weapon is actually really good for Kokomi. In addition to this, whenever you swap to Kokomi and then back to your active character, you're going to get an attack increase, and then at R5 of this, you basically get 48% attack for your main DPS character. So this is going to be a very good book for Kokomi, and very easy to get. You just have to do a few wishes basically, which you'll already be doing to get Kokomi in the first place. Favonius Codex could be a pretty decent option for Kokomi as well, basically keeping her burst uptime, because mainly what you use her burst for is resetting the cooldown of your E, because her E is extremely strong actually, and it's going to be probably stronger than an Oz just because it can do vaporize reactions if you are using like a Pyro main DPS actually. If you are using a Pyro main DPS, you're basically going to be able to apply Pyro a whole bunch and then vaporize either with your main DPS or with Kokomi, and I think it's going to be extremely strong. The Favonius Codex works really nice though, because you basically can get a lot of burst uptime and also create some particles for your team, and yeah, this works very well. It has a 510 base attack and 45 energy recharge. Mappa Mare is a craftable weapon from the crafting station, and this one is probably going to be one of the better weapons for Kokomi, I would say. One of the more easily accessible and better weapons to use for her. And so its passive right here, triggering an elemental reaction, grants an 8% elemental damage bonus for 10 seconds. And you can get 2 stacks of this, so it's going to be really easy to trigger reactions with your Kokomi as a sub DPS. Its base attack is a 565, so it's nice, but it doesn't really help you out since none of Kokomi's damage actually scales off of attack percent at all, except her auto attacks. And this also comes with 110 Elemental Mastery, and Elemental Mastery is going to be nice for your reaction damage. Prototype Amber is probably going to be a good option for a support Kokomi, I would say, and because this passive right here, whenever you use the Elemental Burst, it generates 4 energy every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. All party members will regenerate 4% HP for 2 seconds for this duration. So in addition to her own healing, she can also heal as a sub DPS, even though her elemental skill already heals you. This will just give you some more healing and energy recharge. This does have 41% HP as well, so it's very similar to the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers in basically how much HP you're getting. You get a little bit more from this though. Where I could see this weapon working really well with is if you are using Kokomi as your healer for like a DPS team with like Raiden and Electro Traveler, something like that. It could be extremely good because Kokomi is going to be probably one of the better healers in the game for DPS, sub DPS, and also healing. As you guys know, definitely going to be very good for teams uptimes and synergy with Raiden's abilities. Sacrificial Fragments could be an extremely good option as well, and this is going to matter if Kokomi's E can have multiple servants up at a time basically. I know with Oz this wouldn't work, I don't think, because of how Oz works. Oz's cooldown is like reset, so if Oz and also Kokomi's little mobs are going to be very similar, this wouldn't necessarily work. However, keep this in the back burner if you guys want to test it out in the beta. If any of you beta testers are watching this, that could be pretty cool. But this passive, after damaging an opponent with an elemental skill, the skill has a 40% chance to end its own cooldown and can occur every 30 seconds. 30 seconds is nice because that's about the same cooldown of Kokomi's spell anyway. However, if you do have your like burst up, you can reset this even faster basically, and it's gonna work very nice. And this does come with a 221 elemental mastery stat, which is going to give you a lot of reaction damage as well. Einen's Song is probably going to be a very good option as well. And the reason why I say this is because when you hit your opponents with normal attacks, it decreases your stamina consumption of your sprint and alternate sprint. This works really well with like Mona, but it also can work really good with Kokomi as well. And this does give you a little bit of an attack boost, so you can get a little bit more auto attack damage. And if you do end up auto attacking with Kokomi, either to like apply Hydro or something, you're setting up for like reactions, that kind of thing, this could work pretty decently. And then the main reason to use this is its base attack. It's 565. Base attack doesn't really matter too much on Kokomi, but this does have energy recharge as a substat as well, so this weapon is usable. It's just not the best. Hakushin Ring is the newest craftable weapon actually, and I might actually craft a few of these if I do end up rolling for Kokomi. Now this one's going to be very good for Kokomi actual in overall damage. I think this is probably going to be one of the best weapons to actually use on Kokomi, I would say. And because after the character equipping this weapon triggers electro-related elemental reactions, so like if you're using her with Raiden, you could create a basically electro reaction with this. And then all nearby party members of an elemental type involved in the elemental reaction receive a 10% elemental damage bonus for their element, and that lasts 6 seconds. And so basically what this weapon is going to be very good for is boosting up the damage of like electro characters, and also characters that act as their like sub DPSs like Kokomi would work extremely well with this weapon. Like this weapon is going to actually be really good. Like already on my Raiden build, I'm already going to be able to get like 180% electro damage based on that, all the way up to 200 something percent, but adding this on top of it with Kokomi as a sub DPS is going to be extremely valuable, so I definitely am going to roll on Kokomi for this reason. Base attack of this weapon is also pretty high, and it does come with energy recharge, so you can have your burst up a lot more and have basically more E-spells up constantly. And now the last weapon that's going to be good on Kokomi is going to be the Diamond Vissage. This is the one that's going to be on her banner, and now this one is going to be pretty good. However, I don't think it's as valuable as the prototype one that you can craft. This one's more for damage, I would say, on Kokomi in terms of her sub DPS and DPS capabilities, but this gives you a healing bonus increased by 10%. Your normal attack damage is increased by 1% of the max HP of the character equipping this weapon, and so the max HP on Kokomi is going to be really high, and so this is going to give you actually viable auto attacks. And for 12 seconds after using an elemental burst, normal attack hits that hit opponents will restore 0.6 energy. Energy restored this way can occur once every 0.1 seconds, so every auto attack basically. On this goes up to 608, and you get 50% HP from this, which is going to be really good for Kokomi. But other than that, that's it for Kokomi. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. But anyway, it's been me, Arctic. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.